trying to set up my stream here and get this all set up. See if it sent any notifications out to anybody. Box O knives. Let's see if I can experiment while this one. Got no one here. Oh, I can zoom. It's probably the second time I've noticed that. Didn't do anything about it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now I'll have somebody to talk to. Stop being silly. This is supposed to be a live stream. Hello, Patrice and Jeremy. Cool. We've got people. We have human beings. So, what these knives are, I'm gonna set them out where you can see them better and everything. That's just the box I'm dealing with. We'll have this case over here. And I'll set that like this. Please stand by. All these knives have something in common, even though they're made by different manufacturers. Uh-oh. This thing's got a delay.
Hello,
and we
Patrice.
can't have this that loud. Sorry. There's a huge delay. Hello, Gerard. Gerard? Is the H pronounced? Gerard. Gerhard. Gerhard. That's how I would say it. Gerhard. Yeah, what I'm going to do is I got this big box of knives, and I'm going to set enough up here to fill the table. And they all have something in common, which you'll probably figure out fairly easily. See how many I can get on this table and still have it in screen. I still got a bunch more in this box here. Let me just dig through them. Knives stacked upon knives, stacked upon knives. See if anybody's guessed yet. Oh, wow. There's 6 people here. Well, thank you, everyone, for joining. Nobody's started guessing yet. It may buffer, it may do weird stuff and things like that. That's a big one there. Got up there, acorn head. I'm still digging. Still finding knives. Knives I can pile upon top of knives. I'm looking for a specific one right now because we got some kind of duplicate creatures here. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6 in the box that I'll leave behind. I think we got enough examples. All right, you don't win anything if you guess correctly, but what do all these knives have in common other than besides there being on this tray and they're knives that I've got and stuff? What do you think they are? They're all some kind of trapper. Some kind of trapper. Single-bladed trapper. Bolster lock trapper. Hello, R34P3. We'll call you R34. Yes, these are all different makes and brands. See, when I was first started a few years ago, I started watching YouTube videos, and one of the persons that I watched a lot was Tobias Gibson, and he would talk about how he didn't like trapper knives, and his main complaint with the trapper knife was that why carry around two blades? Makes sense. Why carry around two blades if you're never going to use the second one? Yeah, that's true. They're all folding knives. Yeah, they're all on a tray. Yes. Hello, Darkwater. I try to keep up with these chats here and stuff, but my, like I said, look what this one does to me. This is supposed to be monitoring my chat here. Look how well that works. But yeah, there's like a case mini trapper. This is pretty cool. The main thing I think about it is usually nobody complains about the main blade, like a clip blade. Everybody likes the clip blade. The secondary blade, the one that doesn't get any love, is the spey blade. Now, breaking apart the whole, whether it's a marketing ploy and stuff like that, just looking at the knife itself and the usefulness, if you eliminate that one, you get a slimmer package, and you keep the clip blade, right? But I think the advantage of a multi-bladed knife is two blades, right? So if you don't like what they traditionally, offer you in the secondary blade, well, you've got a couple of choices. You can modify the blade. You can make this one into like a sheep's foot if you wanted, for example, or a spear point, make it more pointy. Hello, Rhino. Yeah, it is. It's like 5, 4, 0, 0 dark 30, as we would say here. The sun has not come up. But this is a pretty useful pattern, mainly because you've got a lot of strength. You've got a lot of metal up here, it hasn't been filed off, so you've got a lot of strength in this. And you have the advantage of it is blunt, You could round this one off even more, like I said, and make it a sheep's foot. Ooh, my hands are dirty. I've come prepared. Yeah, a lot of times I'm working on knives or picking up stuff and soot gets on me. Soot, man, I'm telling you. You burn fat wood and you put a canteen cup or something on a fire. And man, that's good for darkening sights on rifles for people like that. I like a shiny front sight, so I can pick it up. All right, so here's just some of the different examples. This is a bow trapper. All right, so now you've got the little bit more ergonomic shape of a bow. You don't like a trapper? Well, this is a double take. So you get two trappers in one. It's pretty big in your hand. Maybe the trapper, the size, it just wasn't big enough for you. So you needed a 7-inch blade instead of a, it just wasn't enough for you. Or the animal that you were spaying was a little bit larger than your average animal, so you needed a big spay blade here. You know, we're talking about elephants or giant animals or something. Who would want that job? I know I wouldn't. All right, let's look at chat here to see if everybody's here. Hello, everyone. Yeah, see, there's a lot of uses for that spay blade. That's another thing, you know. Rather than dismissing it, back in the day, but with ink and stuff, you know, they'd have an ink pen. It'd be a quill and all this other stuff, and sometimes they would use that as an eraser. They knew that it basically you would just be scraping off, you know, your mistake, and they would use that like an eraser. SMKW came up with their bow trapper. See, these style blades these are pretty good for skinning and stuff. Now you got a problem with the point with this one. If you're worried about gutting animals and everything, you got to watch out for the point on it. This one is also called, it's got a trapper in its name. I don't know what it's called. But you know, you push this guy up and he kind of like locks in place. And yeah, pretty solid. I've tested this one. Some of these, I've seen one where somehow it failed. Ah, dirty hand. Dirty hand violation. Dirty hand. We gotta fix that. Look at that. The miracle. The miracle of hand sanitizer. You've been sanitized. Yeah, but there's a lot of variations of trappers. Like I said, single blade. There's some that even to me look like pen knives. I saw one in one of Tobias's videos. He had a knife that had a regular blade like this. Then it had like a pen blade beside it. But it was a case. It was called a trapper, an older trapper model. I'm like, wow, man. They call everything a trapper. All right, but if you don't like as a secondary a spay blade, this is one I wish that when Marbles came out, sorry for a little bumpiness. When Marbles came out with their D2 jumbo trapper, my only regret is, yeah, you know, that's like a saddle horn or whatever. But here's another one that just another very similar shape. Why not give us something? You know how to do it on this frame. Give us a worn clip, a giant worn clip. And then if you wanted something curvy, you've got your curvy Werbies instead of a clip blade. So, you know, that's an option only if they make it. You know, here's Marbles stick, but it's a jumbo. Not much of a spay blade there. This is one of a great Rough Riders. Now, Tobias has one that's a dog leg. I looked at it. They've got like 2 or 3 different versions of this. And because my model number was different than his. And my secondary blade is more like a traditional spay blade, I think. Yeah. His, it has more belly to it and stuff. I call this one the Squished Beaver. Let's see if it'll let me zoom. Oh. Squished Beaver. To mean something. Sometimes they'll do something. Rough Rider will do something, make a pattern, and then they never do it again. You know, they know how to do this handle. That's what I get. You know, I don't get this. They know how to do this pattern. They know how to do the shield. They should have done more beaver themes, you know, I think. Go beaver. Here's another one that's kind of cool. Cool looking, but when you get it with all the buffing compound and stuff, if you like zen in your work, you know, cleaning things, which I do, I like to just sit there and do menial tasks, you know, like clean a knife off and stuff. This one's a good candidate for it because all these little things right here that catches buffing compound, and you have to get in there, but you don't want to scratch stuff, you know. So this can take a lot of work cleaning it out, but it's pretty cool looking. The little brass pins in there. They're not all gone through to the, you know, to hold it in. I think it's just these right here. But yeah, this got this reverse frosting, Tobacco Road. So see, you usually get a nice little buoy looking kind of like clip blade, you know. And if that's not enough for you, you've got the ergonomics also of a sow belly. There's your spey blade. There you go. Spey away. Spays away. It's got a half stop and everything. Yeah, you can get a lot done with that, I think. All right, so you don't like the spey blade as a secondary. This is considered a trapper. How about a razor? Maybe you can do some shaving, you know, while you're at it. Let's see how the chat's doing. I'm going to try to go through most of these. These are just, you know, most of them are Rough Riders, so I was collecting different patterns and everything. There's Diver Dave. Hello, Diver Dave. He's got the little. They have this one where it says members only. If you want to do a members only chat, man, I want it to be all inclusive. Can you imagine that'd just be me and Diver Dave talking to each other? I mean, it'd be all right, but all these other people would just be watching and wanting to say something. I want this, you know, a live stream is a chance for you guys to, you know, talk back and forth also. Now, if you watch it later on, it might skip. This one might have buffering and stuff. I really can't tell because like with this other phone over here, this is usually what it's doing. It's buffering. So I mean, if I had audio, it'd be way delayed. You'd barely hear it. Yeah. All right. So this is even more slender. You know, this is that older saber, but it's a trapper. It's in its little trapper pattern. This one was sent to me by Toby and family. But you know, they etch a little. That's a popular saying nowadays. No matter which side of the fence you're on, or if you even see a fence. I see a checkered flag. There's a half stop. And then this one is a marbles. They did a spey blade. Look at that. That's really pointy. See, there's a lot of variations on a spey blade. It can be almost down here. It can be all the way up here. But if you think about the purpose of a spey blade, you want a portion of it that's not sharp, that's not going to cut. Some of it, at least. Or else you're going to have accidents. Accidents in spaying. Now, the thing with the trappers is, see, here's, this guy got cracked. I don't think he was originally cracked. He might have been. They're always offering them. I mean, it's always trapper. But if you like it, look, it's just got double pull here. You know, if one nail nick wasn't enough for you, now two. Oh, look. Double nail nick on your spey blade. Oh, it's harder to lever back here. It's much easier to leverage it open here. Nice, heavy. Now this color right here might look familiar to you, right? I mean, this pattern. Where is he? Where is he hiding? See, it's basically the saw cut, but it's a different die. But that's cool. This one's got black liners on it. It's got the offending R, which one day will go away. And then they can get fancy. Look at this. Is that a fancy trapper or not? And of course, we had the flipper trapper. Like I said, it was kind of a swing and a miss on this one. Let's see if it deploys properly. It did that time. Look at that. It locked up. Very good trapper. It's kind of bulky, kind of heavy. But yeah, if you want to modernize your trapper a little bit, but you didn't want to go all the way. You want to have a fast deploying spey blade too. It probably would have gotten in the way too if you look at it. You'd have double tabs, and then you'd deploy both. That'd be interesting. They could have done that. I would have done it just to goof around and put another thumb stud that will kill you over here. Get the lefties too. The lefties need abuse too. Yeah, you don't want to try to use that. That's one thing. And this one is starting to wear in, but it was deploying and not locking all the way, and I just push on the back of the flipper tab. Yeah, they got this in blue, and they got this. It's a chunky monkey. It feels almost equal to this. This guy's not super heavy. Yeah, marbles have got that. And then these bow trappers too. The first one that came out was the black one. It's this one. And people complain, yeah, it does have a light, look at that, shaven hairs. It does have a light pull to it, but not super light. It's not that bad. So they came out with this one. And it's noticeably stronger. I mean, you can tell, and it locks in place very well. Well, now they came out with two more where it's just a little bit longer. You know, they made the blade just a little bit longer. I didn't get either one of those, so I don't know if there's any difference other than that. But I already have these two. So, yeah, like I said, you can get... I've got one here. There's a tailgate trapper in here somewhere. Are you it? Yeah, here he is. Here he is. So you don't need a... This is more practical to me. Not that I drink a lot or anything, but that right there, this guy can work like a little pry bar. It's already beveled a little bit. And it can work as a screwdriver. That, to me, comes in more handy a lot of times than a spade blade. Kind of a little multi-tool thing, which is what I was thinking about getting, but yeah. You got Jumbo Trapper, like I said. I got the 25th anniversary one. These are more gimmicky kind of thing. They're cool to look at and everything, but man, they are huge. And they're non-locking blades, you know, so you got a huge blade. Even this, like I said, it's good. It was in D2. Micarta, you got a lanyard loop. You're doing well and everything. Oh, hello, Knife Delights and Jeremy. But two very similar blades, you know. I mean, yeah, this one swoops down a little. Okay, he's got a little recurve on him and everything. And this one swoops down a little bit more, and he's more swoopy. Where did our pointy go? Where did our pointy stand? It's got to have a point, but they're not like this one. You can't always get these things. They'll come out, and you'll think, all right, cool. Here, where's another example? I've got him underneath here. I just found this one recently. Look, this is a marbles. Look at this. This is a cross-etched bone and everything. What is it? It's a swing guard. It's a marble swing guard. Very thin, pretty nice. It had a little gunk on some of the, you know, some glue where they got a little carried away on some of this. But man, it's pretty nice. Swing guard works. Kind of like a case cheetah. You know, it's a lockback and everything. They made this a long time ago. What was this number? Not super long. It usually has a number on it. It's not gonna tell us. But this is an older one. They didn't make them anymore. Ding, ding. Can't be like, oh, well, you copyrighted us, because that's never stopped the Chinese before. And yeah, besides the regular trappers, Case has got a mini trapper, and this one, like, that's cool. It's got a little warning clip on him. So there you go. You got your straight cutting stuff, you know. And then you can still jab with the warning clip. You just change your orientation a little bit, but then you got your nice little clip blade. Oh wow, it just said something over there. It's buffering so bad. That's the first time it said something over there on the phone. Let me check the chat. Well, thank you everyone who's joining in and has joined and stuff like this. I'm just going through all the different trappers and just realized, man, I got a lot of trappers, and I kind of ignored them. Also, I put this up here too because the live stream, the chat doesn't always replay. When the replay comes on, sometimes it's just there, and you know how much I don't watch the chat very much. There you go. That's from the beginning. I'm in live chat, so it should show everything. And I haven't thrown myself in as a moderator yet, but I'm one of those 12 it says that are watching. You can't always check that that thing too. All right, here's some of the ones that I left out. You know, everybody makes a trapper. Now this originally it wasn't always made in Pakistan. This Chief brand, or where does it say it's made? Does it say it's made anywhere? We're out of focus. Yeah, I know. Before you cut your finger off, switch to the other side. It's made in China. It says it's that's its number, and it's stainless. Patow! I left that on the blade in case I wondered, because it has that Pakistan knife look to it, but it's also hard to get to nail nick, but it has a spey blade. See, now that's more like what I would think a spey blade is. Not badly made. Not bad on the die and everything. Pretty good on this. They're not brass, you know, liners or anything. It looks just like stainless steel. Pretty good. You can feel a little bit of transition there. It's got this, it looks like a buffalo nickel, doesn't it? He looks kind of mad. I wonder why. Probably because somebody was taking his picture. So yeah, that's one, and then here's the one where Rough Rider tried to get a little bit fancy. They didn't do file work on a mainsprings or anything, but they did do, you know, some little fancy work there. Here's your fancy. You know, no big R on there or anything. White bone with a little red. You know, sometimes you don't have to get carried away to be fancy. You know, you don't have to jumping zone. Well, you get carried away with it. Sorry. It's got the Rough Rider Tang stamp. Look at the guy, the Wild Cowboy. The story of the Wild Cowboy. I always make up stuff on this, and yeah, there's a big story of the Wild Cowboy. But see, it's got the little. That's as fancy as they got on this one. They could have jimped away and filed away, but they just gave you this. So sometimes less is more. All right, how about less zooming in? All right, here's another one. This is just another. Oh, I was noticing. All right, this is Rough Riders' version of turquoise. This is Marble's version of turquoise. The older marbles. It's basically there's a plate back there and there's some dye. All right. The newer Rough Riders with the 440B, there's an acrylic plate with holes, irregular holes cut out to kind of shape like a turtle or whatever shell. Ooh, you see that? I think that's this thing just resting on there. Would you stop that? That turned off. Now this is off. What the hell's going on here? Lights out. Lights out. Lights out. No, it's not lights out. Everybody's just waking up now, or some people are getting ready to go to sleep. I don't know. But it's done differently. Maybe I was giving away a secret, and Rough Rider was monitoring this frequency and hacked in and said, "Oh no, he's going to divulge the secret." You've got a lock back trapper here. This is from the Outdoorsman series. Yeah, the little RR in there, and the acorn's head. That's pretty cool. But yeah, only the main blade locks, and it's a mid lock. You know, pretty cool, pretty solid. For those of you that are afraid your blade's going to close on you, this will give you some more confidence. I would think you would want it on the spay blade, because of all the things, you know that animal's not going to stand still for that. And you don't want him, all he has to do is move his leg forward. Consider you're between their legs. All he has to do is move his leg forward. Which would you rather have? The knife close on your hand, or the knife stick the animal in the leg, because he ran forward. Maybe they'll stop him from keep moving forward. I don't know. Adventures in Spaying. Boy, the stories you could have told. Yeah, let me tell you, son, about the time that bull got carried away when I was trying to spay him, make him a steer. He didn't want to be a steer. He said, "No steer here. All these parts that I got on me, I'd like to keep them. Thank you. We can't have that. You will impregnate too many cows." But I like impregnating. You won't after we're finished with you. And this will be your expression on your face. You know that can't feel good. You know that can't feel good. All right, this is an Appaloosa trapper, so they get to show you a horse. This is not horse dumpings, although I was wondering about that. Horse running, he's running, probably because he doesn't want to get spayed. And then a spay blade right here that's chasing. It's right, if you notice this, the spay blade is right behind the Appaloosa. The horse is running, and what's right behind him? A spay blade. See, each one of these can have a little theme. Even though it's a spay blade, this is no ordinary spay blade. The spay blade will forever be chasing after the Appaloosa. Now, they made this one in tobacco bone. That's what I originally ordered. This was supposed to be some other kind of Appaloosa. Same people here, so there we go. Doug Watkins. Hello, Doug. See, a lot of times he's got his little emoji too. See, a lot of times I'm not watching the chat as closely as I could, but when you've got a big box of knives, that's when you can go long format. Oh, look at! I swear this is the way Nigel was sleeping, man, upside down like that with his butt in the air. Hey, you're on the air. Back up there. At least act like you're filming the news or something. But yeah, they're pretty useful. I mean, you can do what most people do. Now, of course, they're the same size of blade, like Tobias was saying there. They're the same size of blade, same length of blade. But you can keep this one super sharp, you know, for your super sharp work. And this can be for your general, average, everyday type of stuff, you know. Or you can not carry a trapper. Or you can carry one that, you know, you cut down. You still have to be that wide for 2 blades. But you cut it down to where now you've got something you're going to drink. You know, you're going to tell your stories about chasing Appaloosas. So let me put some of these back in here. And I just like to say that I had no particular feeling about trappers, but then I found out that on that frame they can put a lot of different things in there, man. Talk about keeping it sharp. You know, you keep this one hair shaping sharp. Ow, it is. And you could do more than just like cut open boxes and stuff, you know. You could do some accurate cutting. If you want your fancy dancy trapper, there you go. You can impress the babes with, you know, that and your... This really does feel plastic. It doesn't feel like bone. It feels kind of plasticky, but I think it's bone. It just, yeah. And then you can tell them, Merry Christmas. And if they're, you know, this is Rough Rider with an eye. It's an older one. If you're offended by that term of Merry Christmas, then you can say, oh, I meant to say Happy Holidays. And then you show them what the spey blade is used for, and you start describing in vivid detail how to spay an animal and why and where. Yeah, and you won't be invited to that party ever again, probably. Same thing for this one. You whip this one out, you'll either have people say, yeah, right, or other people say, that's offensive to me. Well, you had a conversation starter or stopper. Look how this oil is kind of like seeped out into the bone on that. You can dye this a different color, and this is like laser etched on there, if that's offensive to you. And then, you know, you can go back in time and get the old sabers. I said, these suckers are sharp, man. This one's after it's been cleaned up and patinaed. This is just vinegar, you know. I fixed the nick on the end. It's still got, this is just KPL and gunk coming out of there because it was badly gunked out. Not real lot of belly to it, but it's thin. Locks up nicely. Delrin handles. Another one you don't have to worry about messing up too much because this one was 99 cents. You know? Oh no, I lost my 99-cent knife. Yeah, that can happen though. It doesn't matter about value. If you become attached to a particular knife for whatever reason, it doesn't matter how much it costs. Sometimes it can be just that specific knife. Somebody else will say, hey, I saw one of those on sale at eBay for, you know, 99 cents. Put your bid in. I'm like, no. Maybe somebody found your knife and they're selling it. Yeah, let's see if anybody is still here after all this craziness. Hello, Andrew. Sorry. Where did I find that Brandon Trapper? He said, I don't understand if you don't want to show this on your video. And I said, yeah, I try not to keep it political, but, you know, I might show it, you know, because it is topical and everything. What was this one? It was made by Marbles. I think somebody just laser etched it. I don't think it was, you know, factory condoned by Marbles. Probably Frost or something like that. They do a lot of stuff like that. But yeah, you can get a lot of different patterns. I'm just setting them all, the ones that I'm setting them in here. Bow Trapper's pretty cool. It's kind of like a little handful, but it almost has that clasp knife, you know, feel to it. Kind of pretty substantial little blade there. That's pretty cool. And your spay blade, yeah, you have a spay blade, but you've got that, that effect going on, that swooping cutting thing. That's pretty nice. Of course, this one, I can't resist this one because it's hard to find. It's hard to get a hold of these, and like I said, there's more than one. It came in a nice little decorative tin, all colorful, psychedelic, kind of 60s looking. It was like a woodsman who'd been in there, but he had sampled too many mushrooms. He grabbed the wrong ones, and now he's gonna design his artwork. Here's another bow trapper again, but this one's in the classic carbon. Part of the yellow. I got to keep these guys separated. And then, of course, you know, the equestrian. Like I said, here it's on a trapper, but instead of a spay blade, now you got this. Do a lot of things with this. Come over here, you. I'm not touching you. This hook is. I'm not touching you. Come over here, you. Get over here. I don't want to. Yeah, well, you're going to have to. I don't want to. I'm not hurting you. I'm not hurting you. And then, of course, Charade makes, you know, old-timer. Now, they make one that I'm going to get that's called the Buzzsaw Trapper. Now, it has a regular blade and then a saw, a wood saw. Who can see what a wood saw? Only a saw can see what a wood saw. Yeah, that would be handy. I think it even has like a little pin or something in there, like a little spike, a little needle or a little nail. I'll get that eventually. Right now, according to YouTube, I have money in my account and everything. I've only been paid by them once. They paid me on, it was like the 21st. I thought, all right, cool, I'm going to get paid every 21st. Wrong. It says on there, you can get paid between the 21st and the 26th. All right, okay. I'll have to wait till the 26th. What does that say? 28? So, yeah. So I haven't been able to purchase any knives. National Knife Day, I was hoping it would hit for that. No, it didn't hit for that. So anyway, there you go. That's life. But you got, like I said, Rough Rider does a lot of designs that sometimes they're copies of older designs that people just don't do. I think, yeah, Case makes something like this. It would probably be made more substantial. This one's not bad, like I said. When you find these things for the price, they're not all Rough Riders in here. But like when I was going for all the yellow Rough Rider traditional knives, it's because if you had a bias, you're like, I don't have a horse. Why would I get that? I don't have a horse. You don't have to just use it for a horse, you know, digging out a horse up. Like I said, you can use it for a lot of things. Get over here. Get over here and demonstrate. Yeah. And like I said, back when everybody was panicking during the pandemic, nobody wanted to touch doors and they were afraid of everything. Well, you can, like I said, do this on pen pad. Hurt you. Will it hurt you? My hands. Ooh, this could be a persuasion tool too. If somebody's bugging you, say, put your hand in there. How's that feel? You gotta feel it from here, and then you go, and then you grab it like this. I told you now. Leave me alone, punk. All right, you can't demonstrate any. This is self-defense. This is just like emergency use. You know, you're in the barn, and one of the cowhands was getting rough with you. I think it stopped. Look, it says chat publicly. Oh, there it goes. What the hell? Buffering. Probably censored out my battle with the equestrian knife. I think that's what happened. This thing is so delayed. Get in here. Yeah, there you go. Well, you got to see that. At least they didn't censor it. See, removing stones from tires. That's one of the good things for it. Spreading butter. See, yeah. See, there are a lot of uses for these knives. We have biases, like I said, where we have in the back of our mind we don't like a particular pattern of knife, or we don't like this or that, and we skip out on things that could be useful. Now, Tobias, admits in his videos that his bias was that he really didn't like the spey blade. He has no problem with the ones that have something other than a spey blade on there. So I would say, just me being me, I would question, what do you got against a spey blade? I mean, it can be useful. Yeah, you got valid points where I don't know, don't ask him. don't ask him. Hey, Tobias, what do you got against the spey blade? Well, let me tell you what I think about it. No, he doesn't get mad about it. And you're right. You can have your own personal opinions. You can have your own ideas of what you like. Like, if you think this knife is too heavy or too big, or you don't like, because it has the R on it, you refuse to buy it. All right. They're not going to make any more of these like this. They're not super collectible, but what I mean is you might not be able to get them. Not just like collect them. If you want one, you say, okay, you finally convinced me. I've seen those things were available. Sometimes they just dry up. You'll see them available everywhere, and you'll say, yeah, I'm going to get one of those eventually. Yeah. And then they just dry up, and then the only place is like, secondary market. When you hit secondary market, sometimes you can get a deal, but most of the time somebody's trying to get rich off of one sale. They're trying to get rid of make all their money on one sale. Anyway, we've been going on for like 48 minutes. I don't have any more trapper knives to throw in there for you. Hopefully you'll have a good Sunday morning. This is like Sunday morning. Hopefully have a good Sunday morning. What's this little thing right down here? Top chat, live chat. Let's pull up live chat. Wow. It pulled up for a second over here on the screen on the side. Then it fades away. You can't see that. Hello, Larry. Yeah, that monster trapper. Now that Rough Rider does make a super, long Warncliffe knife that's like a modern flipper and stuff. I haven't got that one, but yeah, I just love a Warncliffe. Now, Case has a different way of doing their Warncliffe. Sometimes, like this one's not bad, but sometimes they just wait till the last second and drop it off. It looks more like a sheep's foot. But the main thing is you got a long straight blade here. You can like set your finger on, put all the pressure on it if you want. It's good to have a Warncliffe. Oh, quit bumping that. Stop it. It's good to have a Warnie. So yeah, there's my take on trappers. And sometimes they only offer a pattern. They'll try it on just like a trapper. I've seen I think it's the Rough Rider Tortuga trapper, where it's the scales, the covers are shaped, carved out like a box turtle or something, shell. That's cool. I think they only did a trapper in it. They didn't do any other pattern in that. They just did a trapper. And it's like, wow, when they do a canoe, I'll get one of those. Or when they do this, oh, goodbye, Rhino. Good to have lunch. Yeah. You can call me late for anything, but don't call me late for a meal. Thanks for joining us. I'm about to shut this one down. I'm just going through my final thoughts on trappers and stuff. If the bulk of it, are carrying a secondary blade, you've got the standard, the one blade trapper like this Zippo here in Curly Maple. Yeah, my luck with Case so far has been very good. every case knife. This is the slim line case. Every case knife I got in yellow Delrin has been great. I don't get super picky on fit and finish on a lot of them. You know, I don't go through them with a fine tooth comb and all that. Oh, don't worry. You know, I'm surprised anybody even showed up, man. Like I said, it's like 5:30 here in the AM. Most people are still in their pajamas, dreaming about knife purchases and stuff, whatever they're dreaming about. But I have a whole other box full of knives, like I said, that are not Barlow, not Warncliffs, not Trappers. You know, just sitting back there, because a lot of times I'll be talking about something and I'll think about a knife, and most of my knives are in the living room, and so I don't have any place to. Over here, you know, there's always limited space. There's always something going on. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this one down. But I just wanted to thank everyone for joining, and glad that you could make it this morning here, everybody. We'll go back and look at the chat, make sure I got everybody and said hello to everyone. So yeah, if you missed anything, just go back to the front of the video and look how delayed that one is. I'm still messing with a what? What is that one? It's a red knife. That knife is red. God, that's the delay. That's that jumbo. I've already put him back up in the... Is it? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, so everyone, thank you for joining. And I hope you have a great Sunday. And be kind to your knives. Big or small. Trapper or not. Thank you everyone for joining, and I hope everyone has a great day.